Okay, we are talking about the little-known nutrient choline, so important for brain health, nervous system health, liver health, fat metabolism. If you got Alzheimer's issues or know anybody who has Alzheimer's disease or dementia or forgetfulness, choline is a great nutritional supplement. There's a few more things I want to say about choline. But before we do that, I want to take a couple of minutes to address this whole One World Whey labeling controversy that so many of you have contacted me about. I meant to do it last week. It came out, the news on One World Whey, I believe, came out a couple of weeks ago. For those of you who don't know, in a nutshell, the label on the One World Whey product, which I've been recommending now for a few years, the label claims 21 grams of protein and 1.98 grams of sugar, and the label is actually incorrect. The actual protein content is significantly lower. It's only 5 grams, and the sugars are, unfortunately, significantly higher, 16 grams, and that's a huge difference, and it's a huge problem. And the manufacturers of the product, Synergistic Nutrition, I believe it's called, Synergistic Nutrition, the manufacturers voluntarily halted all sales until the labeling is going to be changed. Now, I happen to know the owner of Synergistic Nutrition, Stephen Heuer, and I can personally vouch for this guy's integrity. Of all the nutrients that we supplement our diet with, none is trickier to work with than protein. There is a reason why it is so difficult to find quality protein supplements. There's a reason why it's difficult to find quality protein, and there's a reason why protein supplements and protein foods tend to be expensive. Protein is expensive, and protein powders are difficult to process. Protein powders are difficult to manufacture without damaging the delicate nutrients. And whey and egg proteins, which are the two most active of all proteins, whey and egg proteins are the two most important and most active of all proteins. And I suppose you could include dairy, although there's some proteins in dairy that are problematic. In any case, dairy or whey and egg, these are the best proteins going. Vegans, I apologize. I'm sorry for you guys. And there's no way anybody who understands anything about science will tell you that you can replace the growth factors in whey protein and egg protein with vegan-based proteins. It's just not going to happen. That having been said, because these proteins are so active and so valuable, they're especially hard to process. Now, all proteins are hard to process and all proteins are going to be expensive, but whey and egg, because they're so valuable, are extra difficult to process and they're extra expensive. And on top of that, because so few of us really know or can tell the difference between quality protein and lower quality protein products, there is an incentive for the dishonest and for the predatory to exploit. Places like GNC and Vitamin Shop and supermarkets and drugstores have their shelves filled with crappy, inferior products. Crappy, inferior, and sometimes expensive products that are filled with additives and sweeteners, not to mention poor quality proteins. Folks, we live in a predatory, exploitative world. And I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. The government is predatory and exploitative. Businesses are predatory and exploitative. Advertising, skincare. Skincare is one of the worst businesses for predatory and exploitative, twisted, manipulative people who want to take advantage of our ignorance. Nutrition is the same way, unfortunately. This is the world we live in, and I've dedicated my career the last 30 years to being an advocate for folks who are trusting and innocent, but may not understand the ins and outs of science, the science of skincare, the science of nutrition. And I get just as upset as anybody else when I see people taken advantage of. And that's why I've made myself an advocate for you. Made myself an advocate for people who are well-meaning and innocent and trusting, but unfortunately easy prey for predators. Predators in the nutrition business especially, and especially in the skincare business. I got a note yesterday. I don't want to digress, but I want to tell you about this one product that just really ticked me off in terms of predatory and predation and exploitation. In any case, don't mean to digress here. In my opinion, Stephen Heuer, who runs Synergistic Nutrition, is an honest broker, a conscientious nutritionist. His main goal was and is to produce and sell a quality product. However, the problem with One World Whey is not in the selling and the marketing. The problem with One World Whey was at the manufacturing level. And in this fashion, Stephen was just as much a victim as the people who recommended his product and the people who bought his product. And this raises a very important point. In the supplement business, you don't always know what you're getting, and a certain element of trust has to be present. And this is why I am so proud to be a part of the Longevity family. And I've been proud to be a member of the Longevity family now for going on 18 years. I know the players personally, and I know them well. I know Richard Renton, who formulates the products. I know the Wallachs. I know Dr. Wallach. And I've known these guys for nearly 20 years. They've been developing and selling high-quality nutritional products since the 1990s without any problems. If you are listening to this program, you understand the power and the importance of a nutritional supplement program. But you may be thinking, sure, these things are important, but I'm going to save myself $3 or $4 or $5 or $10 and get my stuff off the internet. Right? Sounds good, but the problem is you don't know what you're getting. Chances are the supplement you're taking contains everything it says and contains on the label, but at the end of the day, do you really know? How sure are you that the discount bargain basement brand really is what it says it is? With Longevity, you got a reputable company that's been around a long time. If you pay a little more for your Ultimate Enzymes or your Ultimate Daily, in my opinion, it's worth it because you know where the product's coming from. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to come back and talk about choline when we come back from this break. Don't go away. You're listening to The Bright Side. All right, we are back on The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us, friends. One last thing I want to say about protein, then we're going to start talking about choline. We'll finish up choline, actually, today. Love this stuff, choline. It's so important for brain health, for liver health, for the health of the digestive system in terms of fat metabolism. If you're looking for good protein, one of the best ones, one that I find, that I use actually, is called Natural Factors. It's made from hormone-free cows, hormone-free dairy. Tastes good. It's got enzymes in it. They actually put protein digesting enzymes, bromelain and such. It's sweetened with stevia. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now. And that's the one I'm going to be recommending. You can get it on the internet or in most health food stores for around $16 a pound, which is relatively inexpensive. As I say, protein tends to be the most expensive of all the nutrients. You don't want to skimp on your protein. Don't skimp on protein. Don't try to save money on protein. Save your money somewhere else. Go for quality protein, in my opinion. I like the Natural Factors brand. They got chocolate, they got strawberry, and they got vanilla. Okay. So we've been talking about choline, the fatty nutrient with pseudo B vitamin-like qualities. It's an honorary B vitamin. It's not essential, but it's conditionally essential, especially if you have any kinds of brain health issues. If you're forgetful, or if you know somebody who's got dementia or Alzheimer's disease, choline can be helpful. Really important for liver health. It may be helpful for diabetics too. Choline itself is water soluble, even though it is a fatty type. It's involved in fat metabolism. It helps you process fats. It itself is water soluble, which is important because it means that you have to be replacing it regularly. You're going to lose it in your urine. Every time you go to the bathroom, you're going to urinate it out. That means first thing in the morning, you're going to be deficient in choline. If you've urinated a couple times in the middle of the night, like most folks, at least once or twice in the middle of the night, you're going to be deficient in choline unless you're supplementing. In the middle of the day, if you're drinking a lot of water, again, you may become choline deficient and because choline is so important for brain health. If you know somebody who's got Parkinson's disease or palsy issues or dementia or learning or memory problems, this is information that you might want to leverage by taking advantage of your Beyond Tangy Tangerine and Ultimate Daily, both of which are sources of choline. Use the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. If you can use it before bed, that's great. Sip on a little bit. Some people will get a little too much energy if they take it before bed. But if you don't, taking your Beyond Tangy Tangerine a little bit before bed can help make sure that you don't run too low on choline throughout the night. Or you can take it first thing in the morning, your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. That's one of the best times to do some BTT is first thing in the morning. If you're looking to get your choline from foods, you want to look for fatty foods, especially fish and dairy. Interestingly, the foods that they tell us not to eat, dairy and organ meats, cholesterol-containing foods, these are foods that tend to be highest in choline. Beans have some choline, peanuts will get you choline, nuts will get you choline, legumes in general will have choline, peas and such. Soy is a good source of choline, eggs, broccoli, cauliflower, egg yolks, by the way, not the white, the egg yolk. Broccoli, cauliflower, spinach. Brewer's yeast is an especially good source of choline. And, of course, lecithin is one of the best sources of choline. So if you're using lecithin for fat absorption or fat metabolism, you're also going to get choline. In fact, the main compounds in lecithin are actually choline-containing molecules. Then there's the whole nerve hormone connection. Using choline supplements or eating choline-containing foods can help support the brain's most important nerve hormone, acetylcholine. choline. It's a type of choline. And this, too, can help Alzheimer's disease patients. It can help kids or adults with learning disabilities and attention problems. More and more literature is pointing to acetylcholine issues as being related to addiction and addictive behavior. So using choline as a supplement, helping support acetylcholine production can help, perhaps anyway, it may help prevent addictions or help reduce addictive compulsions if you're trying to wean yourself off of addictive substances. Certainly, if you're trying to wean yourself off of cigarettes, nicotine, using choline can be a great supplement. There's a very important relationship, as we've talked about in the past, between acetylcholine and nicotine. Supporting acetylcholine can also be helpful for movement disorders, Bell's palsies and such. Myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune disease of the muscles that involves acetylcholine. And using choline supplementally, or making sure a patient is eating choline-containing foods, are advisable for folks who are dealing with myasthenia gravis. Another interesting acetylcholine supporting supplement is something called DMAE, which is very similar to choline. In fact, DMAE is basically a type of choline. In addition to being a raw material for the production of acetylcholine, the nerve chemical acetylcholine, just like choline, DMAE has been reported to be helpful for depression and other mood disorders. Some people have used DMAE to help reduce nicotine cravings. There's not a lot of scientific literature to support its use in this fashion, but from a biochemical standpoint, it makes sense that DMAE, being a type of choline, may help you, just like choline, may help you reduce your cravings for nicotine and may help you wean yourself off of cigarettes if you're trying to quit smoking. There's one older research experiment that I saw that found that DMAE can reduce some of the side effects associated with nicotine toxicity, especially in terms of the heart, cardiovascular symptoms. But other than that, I haven't seen a lot of research linking DMAE supplementation to reduction in nicotine cravings, but it might be something that you want to consider. Even if DMAE isn't going to directly reduce the cravings associated with nicotine, the fact that DMAE improves the health of the brain in an overall sense may support the willpower that's associated with kicking the habit. If you're trying to quit smoking, you might want to try taking a couple of 100 milligrams of DMAE once or twice daily. The major effect of DMAE supplements are agitation or jitteriness, so you might want to stay away from DMAE in the evening or at bedtime and take your DMAE in the morning. If you take it in the afternoon, you might get yourself a little pep, a little buzz. So just don't take it. I wouldn't take it at bedtime or too close to bedtime. We've talked about DMAE for the skin, and there's lots of skincare products. For those of you who are skincare savvy, you know there's lots of skincare products out there that have DMAE in them. Dr. Perricone was the first guy to talk about using DMAE for skincare. There is some literature to support its use as an anti-aging and anti-wrinkle ingredient. Although I'm not necessarily sure that you can rub the DMAE on your skin to get any benefit. However, internally, DMAE may have some skin health benefits, and there's some significant research actually that talks about DMAE used internally for improving skin health. DMAE internally, for sure, is going to help you with brain health and attention, focus, and memory. And also, it's going to have some it may help improve some of the symptoms of dementia. It's gentle, it's non-toxic, kids can use it. It can actually helps improve some of the symptoms of ADD and ADHD. Most focus formulas, focus-type formulations, brain health formulations are going to have a little DMAE in them. And foods that are associated with brain health, so-called smart foods like anchovies and sardines, salmon, fish in general, tend to have high levels of DMAE. DMAE can have a little unpleasant fishy smell, and it's possible that some of the characteristic odor associated with fish may be related to its DMAE content. We talked yesterday about a couple days ago, how fish odor may be related to choline, and DMAE is a type of choline. And then there's the whole issue of lipofuscin, which we started talking about a couple of weeks back, and then we kind of digressed. DMAE and lipofuscin have a very interesting relationship, and if you are dealing with liver spots, and that's how lipofuscin shows up, liver spots, you're going to want to know about DMAE because there's a lot of benefits that are associated with DMAE and lipofuscin. We'll tell you about that on our next Bright Side episode. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We're coming back with your phone calls. 855-660-4261 is our number. Don't go away. We'll be back after this. Okay, on our next Bright Side episode, we're going to talk about the DMAE lipofusion connection. So if you're dealing with liver spots or you just don't want to be dealing with liver spots, you're going to want to tune in on Monday to the Bright Side. Time to hit our phones, 855-660-4261. Let's go to Luigi in Florida. What's up, buddy? Welcome to the Bright Side, my friend. Luigi, what happening? What is going on?
What's up?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. So I was wondering about, I'm 22, and
Yes.
I lost a little bit of weight.
In a good way? Were you trying to lose weight?
Yes, I was. I lost like 100 pounds.
A little bit. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And
How did you do it? How'd you do it, Luigi?
Chicken salads and running and stuff.
Okay.
I got into, supplements and taking like vitamins and stuff kind of like towards the end of it, because I was starting to I was kind of like a slave to food. You know what I mean?
Got it.
I kind of was like going crazy. Like I'd have dreams about food.
Okay.
So that helped. That helped me.
You're not alone. You're not alone. It sucks being a slave to food, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good to be the master of your eating behaviors?
Absolutely.
That alone is a reason to get eating behavior under control. How can we help you today, Luigi?
Okay, so I have a little bit of like loose skin, and I've done a lot of research about like skincare elasticity kind of.
Are you talking
stuff.
stretch marks from losing the weight?
Yeah, sort of. And
Okay.
I was looking into maybe vitamin C and stuff like that, but I don't know. What's your opinion?
Well, here's the deal. Stretch marks are usually defects in collagen. And collagen is in the part of the body that's called connective tissue. So what you want to be doing is you want to be supporting connective tissue building. And not only will this help with skin, it's going to help you with the entire body, because 40 to 50% of your body is connective tissue. The vast majority of your body is connective tissue. So when you start to use strategies, nutritional strategies to build connective tissue, you're going to support overall health and improve your longevity as well. Your blood is connective tissue, by the way. So anything you do to improve connective tissue health is also going to improve blood health too. Number one, bone soup. That's the most important connective tissue building nutritional supplement or nutritional element that you can put into your body. I'd be using bone soup. I'd be living on bone soup. You talk about chicken salad. Chicken salad, not a bad food necessarily, depending on how you make it, but chicken bone soup, now that's an awesome food, especially for connective tissue. Make sure you're steeping your bones for a long time, because the connective tissue building components are located in the cartilage as well as in the meat, but a lot of them are located in the cartilage. Anything you could do to get cartilage into your system is going to be to your advantage. You can use cartilage supplements, you can use bone soup, you can use the longevity glucogel caps, which are connective tissue building supplement. Internally, vitamin C is crazy important for building connective tissue. In fact, in biochemistry, we say vitamin C is the rate limiting step in connective tissue building, which means it is it's the most important point in the connective tissue building process. Without vitamin C, no matter what else you're doing, connective tissue building is not going to occur. So using the glucogel caps, using bone soup, using vitamin C, making sure you have a good source of protein, whey protein or egg protein, taking it on a regular basis is important. And then exercise, especially weight-bearing exercise, is very important for building connective tissue. Bone is also an example of connective tissue. Doing weight-bearing exercises, weights, lifting weights, running, may help you as well. Maybe running with some ankle weights on or something along those lines to increase the resistance on your legs as you're running. Anything you could do to stress your body just slightly and intensely for short periods, but intensely, is going to help you build connective tissue. So using connective tissue building strategies is what I would do. There's some minerals that are also important for connective tissue, especially zinc. I'll be doing 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate, and that second word is Picolinate a day, along with vitamin anabolic, or as it's known as vitamin A, 20,000 international units a day. Very important for connective tissue building. And last but certainly not least is making sure you're getting some sun. You're out there in Florida. That shouldn't be a problem for you.
No.
The sun will get you some vitamin D, and vitamin D is also important for building tissue. Anything else, Luigi?
I've been taking the longevity too. So,
the BTT. Sip on that BTT.
Yeah.
Good deal.
One more skin thing.
Sure.
On the forehead, like about 2 years ago, I started getting like a little bit of like zits like an acne, just on my forehead, though.
Okay.
And I think, I don't know, maybe it was associated with the exercise or the...
I don't think so. What did the pimples look like? What did the pimples look like? Were they little tiny pimples, like whiteheads and black?
No, they're like, I guess, sometimes they're like hard and under the skin. And sometimes...
If they're hard and under the skin, you're looking at a problem processing fats. Those are called milia. Hard little bumps under the skin aren't really acne as much as they're this type of lesion that's called milia, M-I-L-E-A, and that's associated with processing of fats. We've been talking about choline, and that'll help you process fats. You might want to use lecithin after all your meals, and apple cider vinegar after all your meals, as well as the ultimate enzymes from Longevity and the Nightly Essence product, the Biolumin Nightly Essence. Those will all help you process fats. If you're not processing fats, you're going to miss your fatty nutrients like vitamin A and like zinc, and that means you're going to have an issue with connective tissue building. So make sure you're processing your fats. And I forgot to mention the ultimate EFAs. Those are also important for building tissue.
Right. What about caffeine?
Caffeine?
Yeah, casein protein. Is that
casein, yeah. Some people have a problem with casein. It's probably best avoided. I would stay away. There's no real need for it. It's a protein. You're going to get amino acids out of it, but a lot of people have problems with casein, and that's spelled for our listeners C-A-S-E-I-N. It's the second main protein found in dairy aside from whey. The whey is really the good stuff. Casein does have some, it's a protein. You'll get some protein benefits from it, but for a lot of folks that can be problematic.
Awesome.
Got to move on, Luigi. Thanks so much for your call, and congratulations, man. 100 pounds. That is very significant, my friend. Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
All right. If you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. I am Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to The Bright Side. Bill in Georgia. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, Ben. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. I'm calling for it's actually not me. It's my neighbor.
That's what they always say, Bill. Come on, man.
I'm serious. I'm dead serious, man. I do everything you talk about on here.
All right.
On the BTT and everything. But anyways,
all right.
He's old school, but he's got high triglycerides. He's diabetic. He also has macular degeneration in the eyes. We have blood vessel bust in there.
They all go together. It's one package. Yeah. It's a package deal. That's why I say it's not a lot of stuff that goes wrong in the body. There's a lot of leaves on the tree, but there's only a few things that can happen to the tree. Macular degeneration, that's just a leaf on the tree. Triglyceride issues, that's just a leaf on the tree. The tree is where you want to be operating, and there's lots of things you could do to help the tree. First of all, you got to control the sugars. That's the most important thing you want to do. Well, I shouldn't say that. The most important thing is the digestive system, but I'm not going to digress. I'm just going to talk about the blood sugar issues. Just working with his blood sugar will cause his blood fats to drop and improve his eye health. Stat, and that's pharmacy talk for right away. So controlling the sugar is the first thing you want to do. How do you do it? Eat more protein. Don't try to, you guys, it's almost impossible to push yourself away from the table if you're protein deficient and somebody puts bread or pasta or rice or potatoes or corn or cereals or pizza or desserts or fruit juice in front of you. Because the body, the cravings for sugar are hardwired into the body. They're hardwired into the brain, especially under conditions of protein deficiency, which most of us are laboring under. So making sure you got some quality protein is step number one for your friend Bill. I'd be using eggs and the natural factors protein that I talked about earlier on the program, maybe 60 to 90 grams of protein powder a day. But when you're using your protein powder, you always want to make sure that you're doing some exercise with it. If your body is not taking advantage or turning that protein into muscle, that protein is going to end up getting turned into fat. So you don't want to just take protein without some kind of exercise or some kind of stimulation to make sure that protein gets converted into muscle tissue. So a little bit of exercise and making sure he's getting some protein powder is step number one. Step number two is micro or small nutrients that help the body process sugar, and there's a whole slew of them. Probably the most important are the B complex. B complex is important for a lot of things. They're your energy vitamins, but they are very, very important for helping the body utilize sugars and process fats too, for that matter. And the B vitamins alone, in addition to using more protein, those two steps will help him lower his triglycerides pretty darn quickly. There's also some minerals that can be helpful. Zinc is very important. I'd be using 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate a day, Picol. L-I-N-A-T-E. The second word after the mineral is very important. That second word tells you how well your body can utilize the mineral. Zinc picolinate, the picolinate form of zinc, is utilizable, very utilizable. Magnesium can help. I'd be using around 1,000 milligrams of magnesium a day. You'll get magnesium in the OsteoFX. The Healthy Start Pack is just a good all-around nutritional supplement program. That'll get you your Mighty 90, and that's always a good idea. Have him sipping on his Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Using choline can help with triglycerides and blood fats. And, of course, the Sweeties is really, really important for blood sugar issues, and that'll help lower his triglycerides, too. You'll notice, by the way, when your friend gets on all of these supplements that he's going to lose weight and lower his blood pressure. All of these things are a package deal. Blood pressure, blood fats, weight gain, cholesterol. His cholesterol levels will drop too, as well as macular degeneration and eye problems. Directly for the eyes, make sure that he's on vitamin E, 400 international units a day. Make sure he's eating his colored vegetables with his digestive enzymes, with apple cider vinegar, with lecithin, and with pancreatin. All of those can help him access, or help his digestive system access, the eye-protecting pigments that are found in reds and blues and greens and yellow vegetables and fruits as well, but mostly vegetables. So eating his veggies with his fat-dissolving nutrients, including choline, by the way. And then the Z-radical can be very helpful, as can all algae and spirulinas and chlorellas. All of these ocean vegetation kinds of foods have pigments in them that help his body help the eyes metabolize, if you will, or process sunlight a little bit more effectively, especially yellows. And there's also the Vision FX from Longevity. Yellow vegetables, macular degeneration involves the yellow part of the eye. So yellow vegetables, corn or yellow or orange kinds of vegetables like squash can be very, very helpful. But make sure when you're using these vegetables that you're taking them or using them or eating them with your fat metabolizing nutrients, especially apple cider vinegar, lecithin, ultimate enzymes from Longevity. You may want to try some pancreatin, and the supplement or the nutrient we've been talking about now for the last couple of days, choline, C-H-O-L-I-N-E. And all of that, you know what, Bill? The good news is all of this, if he gets on all those supplements I just talked about, he'll notice results in terms of his blood fats, as well as cholesterol and weight, and even his eyes. He'll notice results pretty darn quickly. All right, Bill?
Is that something now, the eye problem he has, is that something reverse?
Absolutely.
In other words,
100%. Degeneration of the macula means the cells of the macula are breaking down. Macula cells and eye cells turn over really quickly, probably quicker than any other cells of the body. So yes, indeed, that is reversible with a good nutritional supplement program, and reversible pretty quickly. It's not going to take a very long time. All right, my man, stay in touch. I'd love to hear how he's doing.
Okay.
Thanks, Bill. Take care, bro, and have a good day. All right, I got a couple more minutes here. Kim in Florida, what's going on? Welcome to the Bright Side.
Hello?
Hey, Kim.
Oh, thanks, Ben, for your wonderful work. And please let us know if you ever come to Orlando. We're waiting.
Okay, we'll do. Hopefully soon.
Okay, great. Quickly, a question about One World Whey. We
Yes.
use it, and we're happy with it. But now that it's down from 25 grams of protein to 5, would you take, double the amount?
No, I hate to say it because I like Stephen, but I wouldn't use it. I mean, I hate to say that. That's unfortunate, but I wouldn't. I'd be using the natural factors. That's the next best one that I found. Natural factors. I'm so sorry to say that because I really do like Stephen a lot, and he is a conscientious guy. But I just can't say I can't recommend it.
Okay. Well, we bought a big one, so we're going to use it.
Use it up, and then my recommendation, anyway, for whatever it's worth, is go with the natural factors until they fix the protein content, because there's too much sugar in there.
Yeah, I realize it says 17 grams of sugar. However, it's stevia, and when we use stevia as opposed
I don't think stevia counts as sugar. I'm not sure that the stevia.
That's what I'm saying. So we don't get that awful sugar rise, blood sugar rise when we use this.
I have to see when he has the 17 grams of carbohydrates on there. I don't think he's referring to the stevia. I think he's referring to some other kinds of sugars, but I don't know for a fact because I haven't talked to Stephen about this yet. I just know what most people know from Mike.
Okay. One other thing, quick. If you're using cinnamon, would you only use Ceylon cinnamon as opposed to cinnamon from?
That is the best. Ceylon cinnamon is the best, but no, I wouldn't only use the Ceylon. Use whatever you like, but Ceylon is the best.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much, Kim. And I should give a shout out to Mike Adams, who's the first guy who broke the story on the One World Whey. And Mike Adams is just a tremendous, tremendous resource and health advocate, and a great guy on top of everything else. So shout out to Mike Adams, and kudos to him for Natural News and all the great work that he does. Okay, Truth Raider, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the bright side, Carl.
Hey, Brightside Ben, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Questions. Oh, by the way, I'm really craving. Must be having some serious cravings for choline because I had, over the course of 3 days, I must have had 12 delicious tuna salad sandwiches.
No.
So I must be really craving that particular enzyme or amino acid.
I'm not sure I'm not sure what you're saying there, but go ahead.
Tuna salad sandwiches. I was craving, and I couldn't stop making that.
Are you thinking it's the choline? I see what you're saying. You're thinking it's the choline in the tuna that you're craving? Could have been the oil and the fat. That's usually what people crave, is the fat.
Okay.
Sure it wasn't the oil?
Well, it was. Anyway, it satisfied whatever I needed, but I just made one sandwich after the other, so I must have had a real deficiency.
There's a new tuna out there. There's a new tuna out that comes in a jar. I don't know if you've seen this, and it's packed in olive oil, and it's got various spices in it, and it is delicious. And tuna is a big problem fish, which is too bad because it's got great nutrients in it. Carl, we only got about a minute. What's going on, my man?
Okay, Nature's Way, the product Nature's Way, is that reputable? And the good recipe for making bone soup.
All right, well,
bone soup.
The Nature's Way, you're talking about the longevity Nature's Way?
No. There's a product called Nature's Way that's pretty good. It's a vitamin C supplement and vitamin B, and it seems to be pretty good, but I just want to get your take to make sure it has good stuff in it.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up, and we're flat out of time. Real quick on the bone soup. You take a chicken, organic and hormone-free. That's very, very important because when you're making soup, you're going to get all the toxins that are in the chicken. It's going to come out in the soup. So it's very important that you use a good chicken when you're making your bone soup. Drop it in a pot, top it off with water, bring it to a boil, let it simmer until it has a nice thick soupy consistency. Should take 8 to 12 hours. The meat will come off the bones. Make sure you put a little apple cider vinegar in there to help dissolve some of that cartilage. When the soup is almost ready to go, throw in some veggies, throw in some spices, and you're good to go. You can store your bone soup in ice cubes and make instant soup by sticking the ice cubes in a microwave. Make an instant cup of soup. Real easy to do. I hope that helps, Truth Raider. Thanks so much for your call. Thank you for all the love and all the support. I appreciate all you guys. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You've been listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back at you on Monday with more good health information. We'll talk about choline on The Bright Side. Have a great weekend.